Sarasota County is well recognized for its elegant Gulf coastal communities, retirement living, and vacation getaways. It is perhaps not as well known as a hotbed for testing green building and Florida-friendly landscaping concepts. Concepts demonstrated at the Florida House Learning Center, a model home for sustainable living. Betty Alpa, an educator with the University of Florida Sarasota County Extension, explains its origin.
The Florida House really resulted from a 4-year drought that occurred in the late 80s or early 90s. And as a result of this drought, there was talk in our community of creating a building moratorium because we didn't know where the water was going to come from if people continued to consume at the levels they were at that time.
The answer, in part, came with the development of Florida House, which has shown thousands of citizens, government officials, and building and landscape professionals how sustainable building design and Florida-friendly landscape design could help protect Florida's water resources.
The concepts that we try to teach really all center around Florida-friendly landscaping. By that I mean we use native plants or drought-tolerant plants. We also have an edible landscape here at the Florida House. We have a butterfly garden, wildlife garden that teaches people how to attract wildlife to their yards. We teach micro irrigation and the water conserving measures that go along with that. We have many examples of composting. Also, one of the big things we stress is the reduction of chemicals, fertilizers, and pesticides in our landscape, because those are the things that end up going down into our waterways. When we have a rain event, the storm water that runs off from our yards ends up going right down to the bays and estuaries. So we want to eliminate or reduce at least detrimental runoff and the chemicals that it carries with it.
Florida House's educational influence is reflected in Sarasota County's unique landscaping ordinances and in developments like Willow Bend, located in Osprey. Willow Bend is one of the first developments in which the homes all feature Florida-friendly landscaping designs, incorporating native and drought-tolerant plants and reduced lawn areas. Mark Malkasian, a Willow Bend resident and board member who has overseen the landscaping program, describes some of the features of the Florida-friendly landscape.
I think the key aspect of Florida Yards program is that it's a water-wise program in that after a relatively short period of time, the plants are established and essentially are on their own, with Mother Nature cooperating as far as rainfall goes and not having high irrigation demands. Also, it's low maintenance, not requiring lots of cutting and pruning and trimming, and certainly very minimal use of pesticides and insecticides.
Malkasian also points out the landscape designs include lawn areas that are smaller than traditional designs.
Most of the developments in Florida are very much oriented on grass. I think that's maybe a northern thing, if you will. I know folks are conditioned up north to have very large expanses of grass on their properties. And you do see that as maybe some of the older communities here in Florida have expanses of grass. But that's one of the distinct things that's different with Florida Yards is that we've minimized the grass placement.
For Angela Polo Mirage of the Southwest Florida Water Management District, who works closely with the Florida Yards and Neighborhoods Builder-Developer Program, Willow Bend is a shining example of how developers can reduce the environmental impact of a new home while also offering something that buyers are seeking, low-impact and low-maintenance yards.
We have used Willow Bend as a model throughout the state to show other developers what can be achieved and how well it can be received by new home buyers. Willow Bend was sold out in such a quick amount of time that it astounded everyone involved in the project. People that are trying this type of landscaping are seeing what a great marketing opportunity. They're using the Florida Yards community style landscaping as a marketing tool, and it is helping to sell their homes.
We're going to take a look at the landscape out here where they've installed all zoysia grass and at least 80% native vegetation. native or drought-tolerant vegetation. And as we look around here, you can see that they've used pine needles for mulch instead of cypress.
Bob Sisson, who oversees green building programs at the 33,000-acre Lakewood Ranch community, which straddles Sarasota and Manatee counties, agrees that environmentally friendly developments attract buyers.
People are much more educated than they were at one time. They're not just coming down here with the Florida land sales and buying up lots and so on and so forth. They're looking for a lifestyle. And when they see a lifestyle that's based around the environment, they're latching onto it and they're embracing it. And that all of our developers have to see that and they have to do that, and we are doing it.
That's a sentiment shared by Sarasota County Extension's Betty Alpa.
The times are changing. They really are. And smart landscaping professionals and businesses are going to find a way to change their business model so that they can sustain themselves as well as our communities. They've got to find a way to adjust their business plan so that they can conform with the new landscaping practices and the new landscaping ordinances so that we can all conserve water and energy and work together as a community and have the business community be part of it. It's not environmentalists working against the business people. We're all one community working towards the same thing, and that's a sustainable lifestyle and sustainable communities.